We at Time Shifters hope that you enjoyed this rare and infamous moment that combines a first-rate disaster with genuine historical significance. But now it's time to take a deep breath as we prepare to temporarily reset you. Get your cars to Mars.
Hey there, everyone. This is Christopher, and I'd like to welcome you to the Time Shifters podcast. On this show, Tom and I dive into movies and TV, mostly in the sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genres, and share some thoughts, give the films a review, and we'll definitely go on a few tangents along the way. Let's get things started and get Tom in here. Tom, how you been?
I'm okay. We were discussing pre-show, I think my first cold of the winter is giving it a go.
I'm sorry to hear that. Always right before the holidays. That sucks because we're recording a week before Turkey Day here in the U.S. So yeah. Get it now so it'll burn itself out, like you said, in about a week. You should be fine, right?
That would be the goal. And honestly, if I can get one of these out of the way before the Christmas break, that'd be amazing because I seem to always be sick during my Christmas holiday.
Knock, touch, bang, slam, wood, whatever. I am historically always got something going around one of the winter holidays.
Yeah.
Whether it be Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, one of those days I'll be stuffed up and feeling miserable, but
yeah, so I'm hoping I'm getting mine out of the way early.
I hope so. I've actually been, I'm not even going to say any more because I don't want to jinx anything.
And hopefully none of this is coming through the microphone.
Yeah, exactly. No viral across the web. So have you been up to anything? Have you been able to do anything fun?
This past weekend, which has left my older body in bad shape, did something not watching but doing. We did a zombie fun run, which is a 5K course. Actually, it's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where there's Field of Screams like all over the place. This one's a permanent installation. So they have a set haunted house. They have a little village all devoted to this. And then on top of it, through their village, they run a 5K course that includes obstacles and volunteers that dress and get makeup done as zombies, which is
nice.
Cool. And then it becomes flag football rules. You wear a belt with 3 flags on it, and as you charge through them, their job is to try to kill you by taking your flags.
Nice. Yeah, I had a friend of mine that went to like a LARPing event that was a sort of Walking Dead kind of theme, the whole zombie theme or whatever. And it was, you got a whole group of people that were the zombies. And then you were running around with like the Nerf guns.
Uh-huh.
And he says what's crazy is you get into it and you're holding a Nerf gun. You know these aren't real. Your life is not in danger. These are not in zombies. He says, but it's dark. You're in the middle of this field. You're running around, and he's like, your brain kind of just clicks off and it's like, you feel like your life is in danger. He said it really gets intense.
Oh, yeah, no, these are hysterical. And I've done these before. Actually, about 10 years ago, I did one that they shut down because it got a little too carried away. So I was surprised when I found out when we went to this one. This was their 13th anniversary, so I could have still been going all this time, and I didn't even know they existed. But it is funny because they have these double white lines that they paint on the ground, and that's when you approach one of those, you're approaching a zombie zone. And what's hysterical is, those are just people in makeup, wearing tattered clothes. And the funny thing is, you're talking to them. You talk. They don't stay necessarily in character. so while you're across the line from each other, you banter and all that, and then it's kind of funny. You watch everybody kind of. No one runs across by themselves. Everybody waits for a little pack to form, and then the idea is strength in numbers, or more like push the weaker ones to the zombies. But yes, you all take off, and it all becomes this mad dash. Like my friend wiped out twice, and then of course got picked off while he was down. And yeah, it becomes this whole melee. You totally get into it in the moment. And then when you're off on the other side, you both taunt each other. And then you carry on to the next thing. It's hysterical.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a blast.
Well, I haven't done anything quite that active, unfortunately. I really need to.
I recommend it, yes.
Yeah. Especially with the winter month is settling in, it's too cool to. It gets too dark too early, and it's getting too cold to be doing much on. Can't get out on the bike. Can't get out and take walks at night unless you want to do it in the dark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to get back into get a regimen going and get back on like the elliptical or something. So I was just talking with someone at work today. So if I get on there and start doing it, I'll get in a routine and I'll keep doing it. But it's I haven't been on it for months. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, every time you look at it, there's so many things going on in your head to talk yourself out of getting on it.
Yeah. But in the life of leisure that I instead voluntarily choose for myself, I did watch a few things over the last couple weeks. I just kind of got in the mood for some things like Lost in Space.
Really?
From 1998, the film.
Oh, the film.
Yeah.
I've actually been meaning to revisit that one.
It's been a while since I've watched it, and I'm not even sure where I watched it the last time because I went to my shelf thinking, I think I'll throw a DVD in and watch Lost in Space. I don't have a copy of Lost in Space. I could have sworn that I had a copy of that film.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I did find it streaming somewhere, so I was able to watch it. I remember seeing it in the theaters. The story's terrible.
Of course, yes, it is.
The acting, with the exception to Gary Oldman, isn't that great.
Well, and even Gary Oldman's, which I assume it was part of the direction and based off the original character, was really ham it up.
Oh, absolutely. But despite all of that, I still enjoy that film. I have a good time watching that movie.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Actually, as a family unit, they actually made a little more sense than some of the families that have gotten stuck together, like the more recent Fantastic Four. That family didn't feel like a family during the entire film to me. But this one, actually, they had kind of all the right amounts of little angst going on there. The hyper go-getter older daughter, the middle daughter that's so angsty in her preteen teen years that she's willing to throw caution to the wind for just about anything, and then the baby of the family that just is too smart for his own good. And the way the dynamic even between the mom and dad, it just kind of all worked, even though it was a crap film.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I have a good time with that film. I can't help it. I just kind of enjoy it. I did go and put the Blu-ray in my wish list on Amazon, so I will rectify the fact so I can make sure to watch that whenever I want.
Great, you'll have it in even higher def for some of the really bad effects.
Honestly, with a few exceptions, I don't think the effects are all that bad.
They're not, but then, yeah, there's egregious ones, like the monkey thing.
Blarp is one of the biggest exceptions. That never looks like it's in the same shot with anybody.
No, and honestly, you could have removed it entirely from the film and not lost a thing. He brought nothing.
It's only because they had some weird monkey-like creature in the latter seasons of the original series. That's the only reason it was in there. And yeah, of all the things that they picked and chose about the original series, that's the one they could have left out.
Yeah. I didn't even remember that. And then on top, it just didn't add anything, and it looked awful.
The director, I think, made a huge mistake with a little bit of the casting. They had all the surviving members of the original series did cameos in the film.
Yeah.
With exception to the two effectively stars of the show, Bill Mumy and Jonathan Harris weren't in the film. I mean, that they are what was the original Lost in Space in the end. Right. That and the B9 robot. Jonathan Harris didn't want to do it because, as from what I've read, he said that he had never done a walk-on and he wasn't going to start then. So he pretty much wanted to be Dr. Smith or nothing.
That was a stretch for him to be Dr. Smith this time around.
Oh, absolutely. So, okay, fine. Egos got in the way on that one. I get it. Bill Mumy, though, was all set to be the elder Will Robinson in the film.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the director thought it would be too distracting for the audience to have the old actor playing the same character and having the young kid playing the character. He thought that the audiences wouldn't get it or would be distracted or whatever, and chose not to.
That's just dumb.
That is, I would love to meet the man and just give him a good smack across the face. Like, what the hell?
You're making a Lost in Space film. First off, this isn't going to be fantastic to begin with. If a Lost in Space, even of the old stuff, it's kitschy at best. It was not. Mm-hmm. It was in the hearts of those that loved it, but I mean, it was never great.
No.
So, why would you not give the fans this?
Right. I mean, the actor that they ended up getting did an okay job. I could believe him as kind of like a older Will Robinson. They used Jared Harris played the older Will Robinson. It's like, okay, he feels like sort of like Bill Mumy's brother.
Yeah.
But it's still not Bill Mumy. I don't understand. That was a really big mistake on the director's part.
Yeah, and that's really that's low-hanging fruit. You should have just done that. Especially if Bill was into it.
Yeah, exactly. I just didn't get it. The other film I have not watched probably since like VHS days, I watched Tremors.
That's always a fun film.
It is a fun film, and that is a film that I feel like without the success of, I don't even think it did that well in the box office. I think it did better like home video or whatever.
I'm pretty sure it crushed in the blockbuster world.
Yeah, I think the success in the home video is pretty much why we got like a ton of like 1990s monster movies. This was a film out of its time.
I wouldn't even say there's making another one.
I hope they're not, because the sequels were of diminishing returns. For sure.
Absolutely. Especially as
very
less
quickly.
And less of the cast was part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Michael Gross, I think, is the only one that showed up for every film. Remember, I read some articles that Kevin Bacon only did it because he needed the money. He had a new wife. They were going to have a kid. They needed money. And he like, all right, fine, I'll do this. He was embarrassed about it. He hated the idea that he was doing this monster movie. But in the end, I think I've read that he kind of came around and he's really thrilled that people enjoy it as much as they do. But it is a film out of time. I mean, it's a monster movie made in the 90s. There hadn't been a good monster movie in probably decades.
No, there hadn't. And just to mess with you, I was tinkering while we're talking. There's a Tremor 7 with no date.
Wait, there's been 6 of them?
There have, yes. Actually, the last one was in 2020.
I think I knew about 3 of them. I remember the last one that I knew about was like a prequel. They took it back to like the Old West or something.
Oh, really?
That was like the
one.
third. I think it was the third. Maybe it was the fourth. I don't know.
Fourth. The Legend Begins.
Oh,
Also starring Michael Gross.
Yeah, like I said, he's the only one that showed up for all of them.
Yeah.
I cannot believe they've made that many of them.
No,
they're the Sharknado of their day.
Kinda, and yeah, there's a 7th on the docket, and Michael Gross isn't listed. Did he pass away?
You know, yeah, I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
I'll be wrong one way or the other.
Right? Yeah. No, I don't know for sure. I don't need to look it up at the moment.
No, nor do I want to curse him.
No, not at all. And right now, this Tremors 7 is listed as a short.
Ah, okay.
So somebody may be tinkering with the thing, but might not be directly tied to.
All right, fair enough. But no, I am very happy to say that the film is still immensely enjoyable.
Yes. Now you got me kind of in the mood to watch it too. Because I remember deeply liking that one. It was just so silly and so much fun. But watching them try to even get around the things by going from rock to rock was this
the pole vaulting scene,
the pole vaulting stuff, and their attempts to lure them and kill them and stuff. It's just good old fun desert goofiness.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
And honestly, Kevin Bacon should be a lot more proud of that than his presence and his the way he played off the other characters in there was just really good.
He and Fred Ward had a really great chemistry.
They did.
They seemed like guys that had been hanging out together since they were kids.
Yeah, like that could have been a pair of brothers just giving each other crap the entire way through. It just worked. It was fun. And when you're watching these things, no matter how dumb the premise is, it's like we're talking about with the Lost in Space. Story was crap. Effects were all right. Some of them borderline offensive with the monkey. But watching actors actually play off of each other in a positive way can make even the bad stuff fun.
Yeah. No, it looked like everyone was having a great time. And the same article that I read that was talking about Kevin Bacon being really embarrassed about it at the time has said that looking back on it, it was one of the most fun experiences that he had when he actually filmed it. He was just in a really kind of crappy place in his life.
Yeah.
And just a lot of stress, a lot of stuff going on. Felt like he was doing this strictly for the paycheck and kind of didn't realize how much fun he was having. And he had to like kind of pull himself away from it for a while to be able to look back and go, that was a great time. So I thought that's very cool that he kind of come around and he can put the bad stuff behind him and actually realize how much fun the film was and how much fun people think the film is.
No, that's awesome, it showed. When you feel like the actors are invested, it's easy for you to get invested.
No, so I've been kind of just a nostalgia kick, I guess. I've just been kind of looking for films I haven't seen in several years and thinking, that'll be fun. The latest was Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat kind of popped in my brain, and I'm like,
that's worth even turning off and just listening to it.
Yeah, well, I think that's why it came up and it is in my brain because I was mentioning on I think somewhere on Facebook that regardless of what you think about Lost in Space, as far as the story, the time travel aspect is like insulting. Whatever, and all that stuff. The remastered or reimagined theme song they play at the end of that thing absolutely slaps. That is an awesome song.
Yes, no.
And one of my friends on Facebook was saying, like, between that and the Mortal Kombat.
It's funny you bring that up because usually when I go to bed, I'll turn on the TV for white noise, and I have a few things that I'll go through. And lately I've been turning on things just for the sound aesthetic. Like, and one of the ones that I turned on for the sound aesthetic was Beetlejuice.
Oh, interesting.
Especially just the opening sequence alone, the actual Beetlejuice theme, especially the slow build as the movie gets going, just hits just right. I did the same thing with Batman '89. I turned it on to go to sleep to.
You're just in a little bit of a Danny Elfman
I'm all over Danny Elfman and his vibe, so yes, totally.
I go to my shelf thinking I have Mortal Kombat. I don't.
Oh, wow.
I just recently, I was like, oh, well, the library's got a copy. I'll get one from the library. Picked it up today. Well, thanks, library, for taking your security sticker and putting it on the double-sided CD so the widescreen version won't play.
Oh, nice. Wonderful. Really thought that through.
So that'll be another one that's going on the wish list.
In the meantime, when you return that sucker, tell them, you screwed this one up.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, and weird that I paired this with my night of running from zombies, I decided to try a newer film that I hadn't seen yet, called The Long Walk. Have you heard of this one?
I don't think so.
It's based off of and Stephen King is deep in this. He is part of the production. It's based off of a story of his. It is very Hunger Games-esque, because the notion is, in this world, in the U.S., we've gone through some kind of civil war of some kind. Let me say some kind again. And in this, young men are now encouraged to participate in what is called the Long Walk. It's supposed to be one young man from each state. They don't explain why there's only 49, so that's its own little problem to solve later. But they have 49 of them. They're going to walk, and they're going to walk, and they're going to walk until they can't walk. And if they can't walk, they're killed. And the idea is only one can remain. So they walk for days. They have to maintain 3 miles per hour or better. They are provided some little rations and water. They do not get to stop for any kind of breaks, including sleeping, pooping, or peeing, of which they address in this film. And it is kind of a horror, more drama.
It sounds a little horrific, yeah.
I got taken aback because I hadn't known too much about this. All of the actors, for the most part, are completely unknowns. They're new. They're all much younger men, just probably coming up. The two primary characters are going to be... These guys should be able to write their ticket for the rest of their lives. They were fantastic through the entire film. But I was taken aback when there's this figure, this military guy that's in charge, and he's called the Major. And the Major is played by Mark Hamill.
Oh, nice.
So I heard him before I even really recognized him. And I'm like, what the? This guy is barking at these people from his rover that he is riding on while they point guns at these guys. And it's just points out what is inherently wrong with the way society seems to be going anyways, but then latches on to the relationships that we make and how quickly one can make one in a state of duress. So it was a fascinating watch. Like, it was one of those where I kept thinking, oh, I want to get up and get a snack or something like that, and I could not take myself out of my seat to do it.
Nice.
Highly recommend watching it.
All right. Fair enough. Good recommendation. All right. Well, I think with that, we will jump into the film of the day. We're going to take a break here, and then when we get back, we're going to talk about 2005's Doom.
I'm Alan.
And I'm James.
And we're the hosts of your new favorite podcast, The Test of Time.
On our show, we talk about our favorite movies from the past, mostly from the 80s and 90s.
There's Forrest Gump, which I hate.
Weekend at Bernie's, which I hate.
And plenty of movies we both love, but still love to talk about, like Risky Business, Swingers, E.T., Big, and more.
We talk about the movies and debate if they still hold up today.
In other words, do they stand the test of time?
So check us out. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, and all the usual podcast places.
Check out our website, testoftimepod.com, for a full list. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at testoftimepod. It's test of time to subscribe.
I can't believe you said that.
It's the test of time. James and Alan have to say, do the movies you love still hold up today?
All right, Doom starred Carl Urban, Rosamund Pike, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I think this was actually back when he was just The Rock.
This is literally as he's transitioning away. In fact, he is credited as The Rock.
Yes. I think I've seen most of the movie posters and like the old VHS or DVD. It's just The Rock right on the top.
Yep.
This film takes place in 2046, 20 years after a portal to an ancient city on Mars is discovered under the Nevada desert. A team sent through the portal have set up a research station on Mars. When they are attacked by an unknown assailant and a distress call is received by Earth military, an elite squad of commandos are sent through to rescue the scientists, eliminate the threat, and retrieve any research data. One member of the team, John the Reaper Grimm, has a larger stake in the mission as his estranged twin sister is among the research team. Reaper finds his sister and learns that she had reopened a dig site that their parents were killed in years earlier. And there she discovered remains of a people with a genetically modified 24th chromosome pair. This 24th chromosome can either give the recipient superhuman abilities or turn them into bloodthirsty monsters. The team soon discovers that the research station had been experimented on humans with this 24th chromosome and that the assailants threatening the station are the research team themselves. I didn't realize that the development of this film began way back in like the mid-90s.
Oh, really? It went far that back?
Yeah, apparently in about 94, after the success of Doom 2, Universal Pictures acquired the rights, and then Columbia TriStar, then it changed hands to Columbia TriStar.
Yeah.
Before the producers Lorenzo Di Bonaventure and John Wells obtained the rights, and they started developing the film for Warner Brothers. They moved the film back to Universal Pictures after Warner Brothers sat on it for over a year. And by that time, Doom 3 had been released.
Damn.
And the original script apparently had elements of that game included, but they ended up cutting them due to budgetary and time.
Yeah, gotcha.
Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger as well as Vin Diesel were considered for the lead. And Dwayne Johnson was initially offered the role of John the Reaper Grimm, but turned it down in favor of the part of Sarge. In an interview, he said, "For some reason, I was drawn more to Sarge. I thought Sarge was, to me, more interesting and had a darker side." Yeah, you think? Maybe just a little.
A little bit.
Creature effects were handled by Stan Winston Studios and supervised by John Rosengrant. And the visual effects, including the first-person sequence, was supervised and directed by John Farhat. The film was considered a failure at the box office, only pulling in just shy of its $60 million budget. And this was an interesting factoid. I get your take on this. In 2009, Time magazine listed put the film on its top 10 worst video game adaptations.
Okay. Any idea what else is on that list?
Yeah, I have that list here. They list House of the Dead,
Okay.
Wing Commander,
Oh, yeah.
In the Name of the King, Hitman, Doom, solidly there in the middle,
Yeah.
then Blood Rain, Resident Evil Apocalypse,
Okay.
Double Dragon, Street Fighter, and Super Mario Brothers tops the list.
Wow. Putting Doom into some of that is... I'm not going to say that this was a fantastic film by any stretch of the imagination, but it's got some entertainment value.
I find it funny that they would go and say it's one of the worst video game adaptations. I'm looking at that list. I'm thinking of the films that I have seen. Several of them are on that list, and I'm like, I think this is one of the, if not the best video game adaptation films.
And this one really has an uphill battle from the perspective of Doom didn't really have a story.
Well, exactly. They were able to take a game that was very simple. It's a first-person shooter. You have to try to get from point A to point B, and monsters are going to try to kill you. That's pretty much the plot of Doom.
Yeah.
And along the way, you'll find stuff that'll help you, and you'll find stuff that'll hurt you. It's pretty simple. But they were able to take all the little bits and pieces and elements that are in the game and weave it into this film, and I think they did a hell of a job.
It is still hopelessly derivative. I mean, it is very much Aliens or the better Resident Evil movie, and it has all of those vibes to it, and it draws from those. But for the property that it was trying to base itself off of, they actually made a semi-workable story out of it. And then, honestly, I was kind of enamored that they chose that moment to give John the extra chromosome in hopes that he would be good and this would be the thing that would happen. And that instantly launches him into the first-person shooter Doom gameplay mode. And I'm like, this is so cheesy as hell, but I kind of love it.
It's funny. You read different reviews, even reviews that or articles that list this on the on bad lists. They say the first-person part was worth the trip. That's the highlight of the film for almost everyone that watches this movie.
Which is funny since it's in the last 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah, and it is really probably one of the more cheesier elements of it.
Oh yeah, it completely owns what it is. I mean, right out of the whole, we have the same things that happen in the Doom game happen, where it's like cardboard cutout pop-ups of monsters coming up, and I'm like, this is just hysterical. I love it.
I just get a kick out of their ability to kind of weave in things that the gameplay has, like the stem packs, the kind of, that keep you moving a little bit, picking up weapons here and there, the BFG.
You even had your moment where, and this is where Dwayne Johnson is a good pick for at least some of it, is that at one point you see him and he is literally carrying like one of everything that would be in your arsenal to draw from, and they're physically on his body. You're like, I can't help but I think I might have even mentioned this before. I've been enamored with the fact that Pluto TV launched a Mythbusters channel, and I caught the one where they did the Doom challenge, where they actually made their own Doom board, and it was the whole, can you move through the board as quickly by just dropping each thing or carrying all of it. And I couldn't help but just laugh as I'm watching Dwayne carry all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's the Mythbusters episode. It's awesome.
That's funny.
The funny thing is that would have, actually the timing would be worked out just about right. That'd be about the same time that the episode came out is the movie.
Yeah, well, there you go. But they ended up, they gave some origins to the story. I don't, it's been a while since I've played the game, but I don't remember it having much in the way of backstory. Where these creatures, these monsters or anything came from is anybody's guess. It is what I remember in the game. Granted, if it's anything that scrolls and tells a story, I probably skipped it because that's just the way I am when it comes to video games.
Very rarely does anybody read that stuff.
Right. So
Unless
maybe that's
forced.
in there. Maybe that's in there. I don't know. But the fact that this film actually gives, okay, this is what, this is where it all came from. This is where the monsters are. This is why it happened. And then incorporate all the little bits into the gameplay, the weapons, the stem packs, the walls that aren't walls.
Yeah.
It gives them a reason for why can I suddenly, in the game, why can you just walk through this one secret wall? Oh, well, we'll figure that out. We'll say it's a special kind of wall,
It's a
in the
nano
film.
wall.
It's a nano wall. I love it.
Actually, I did kind of get a kick out of that, and that made for one of the more interesting jump scare kind of things when they capture the one beastie in the nano wall. That's actually a pretty intense little scene.
Well, yeah, and that right there is why you find out why the one soldier is like, I don't do nano walls.
Right.
The reply, yes, you do. But now you get the idea of why. That's the same reason, Star Trek The Motion Picture finally showed us why McCoy was so frightened or had such dislike of transporters.
Yeah, we got an actual transporter accident, not one where it made another Kirk.
Right.
But yes, no, and it begs the question, what was the story that allowed him to say, I don't do nano walls the first time?
Well, I'm guessing he's probably seen accidents.
Yeah.
Or heard about accidents.
Well, no, I know, which is now I want to know the accident.
Right. The early nano wall technology that didn't, when they didn't stay open long enough or someone didn't walk through fast enough.
So somebody horsed around and hit the close button too soon.
Yeah, exactly. There was a short. And someone lost their ass, literally.
Well, and I love that we had more than one of those because we even had the Pinky character and their little teleporting apparatus that they so-called discovered. But I guess did some experiments with experiments that would allow you to become dismembered in transport.
Yeah. That scene actually was one of the moments where you couldn't do it right. Why did you do it when they actually showed it for some reason? And the CG was absolutely awful. It looked worse than the gameplay. It's like, why did you leave that in there?
Yep.
I actually got a kick out of the even the idea of the Ark. This wormhole portal that would take you from one place to another. I'm thinking, that is kind of like in the gameplay where you just suddenly appear at the beginning of the board and you fight your way through and you get to the end and then you just
disappear.
It just ends and you end up somewhere else. Like that's the game.
Yeah, no, you made a reasonable explanation for what you experienced.
I feel like this film did so many things right. It just it almost annoys me that they would put it on a list and call it one of the worst.
That's a little harsh. Again, not fantastic. You could pick this one apart pretty easily too. I mean, there are a lot of stock characters.
Oh no, absolutely. As soon as you meet the commando team, I've never seen a better group of, and these are the dead guys.
Pretty much, you can almost pick them out right away.
Oh, this is my first mission. I'm sorry.
And your last. Well, and then you got the annoying guy, Portman, who's just ick the entire time. And you're kind of rooting for him to die.
Oh, yeah.
Then you got the religious warrior guy who doesn't speak much, is all business, and isn't in the movie, but for like 5 minutes.
Long enough to see what happens when he takes the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah, and that's cringeworthy as that happens. And then, you got your big guy destroyer who might have a good heart and all, and might know his craft, but he's not the main character, so you're out too.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll go out nobly. You're going out.
I actually really appreciated that they made Carl Urban's character and Rosamund Pike's character brother and sister, and not a love interest.
Yeah,
that right there, especially for 2005 or really any era, that was refreshing as hell.
Well, yeah, because I've seen this movie probably twice before, and I couldn't remember how they were related. I kept latching on to like ex-wife for a minute until he introduces her again as a sister. But yes, no, that was nice that occasionally we can have a platonic relationship in a movie.
If they had just been individual peoples, not related and platonic, I would have been more impressed. I feel like they had to make them siblings, so you couldn't have any romance between them. But I don't know. I just like that because yes, like you, I fully expected when he didn't want to go or she was there. I'm like, oh, this is. I didn't remember either. I was like, oh yeah, this is like ex-wife or something like that. That's exactly where your mind goes. And they're like, oh yeah, she's my sister. Like, oh, well that's different.
Yeah, but between it being her being his sister, and then the character Duke hitting on her the entire time, and his approach and her responses were all cringeworthy the entire time.
You think so? I actually kind of liked I actually didn't mind it. I kind of saw that as... I thought it made it a little bit more interesting because you got these two people that are thrown in this situation. Yeah, he's a little heavy-handed at times, but you could see a little bit where in different situations he would not be quite as... You could see where he maybe has a softer side, and you could see where these two may actually be compatible, and that actually gives his death a little bit more emotion.
Yeah, but what I'm latching onto, I've got no problem with the notion that these two could have potentially had chemistry, but maybe it's what they intended. But all of his aggressive pursuit early on was met with it was hard to tell what she was doing, whether she was just allowing him to play it out so that she could get him to do what I just need you to go do, or if she was actually interested. It played weird, and it felt like you guys aren't having the same conversation, and I don't know who I'm creeped out by more at the moment.
Interesting. I like their dynamic because, yes, he comes off very strong at the beginning and everything, but then when stuff starts really, in some cases, literally hitting the wall, and she proves herself to be very capable and the one that's most likely going to get his ass out of the situation, the whole dynamic changes, and he's like, yes, ma'am, whatever you need me to do.
Yeah. No, and that's where it carried on better. But that that early scene, I don't know where they were going with that, and I don't know if it was intentional or not. So it just struck me as peculiar.
No, I like the switch from him being I'll protect you and because I'm the big strong man to the suddenly she's the protector and he's like behind her like whatever, man. I loved it. I liked it actually.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Having that kind of relationship between those characters, you couldn't have had if you had ex-wife, ex-husband sort of thing, by giving a connection without having romance between them. It makes for a richer environment with the rest of the characters.
Oh yeah. Now how about that Mars landscape? Mars had nothing to do with this film at all.
They were on Mars. That was pretty much it.
To which we don't even really get to see Mars. It doesn't really play a factor. Honestly, this could have happened in some dark laboratory at the bottom of a chasm in seclusion, and you wouldn't have known any different.
Nope, exactly. No, it was only because I'm guessing the game established it as being taking place on Mars. That's pretty much honestly, the only reason.
And feel free, anybody out there in the universe, correct us. I don't even know if that's true. Like, I don't know. I didn't play a lot of Doom, but I don't remember Mars being a component of anything to do with Doom.
I played a little, but not in the heyday of Doom. I played much later, probably like Doom 64. And like I said, any text or interstitial story elements or that would skip.
Yeah.
I just want to shoot something.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you which version I played. I just remember it was like on Windows 98 on a clickety-clack keyboard.
Yeah, see, I definitely did not play the actual computer-based Doom.
Yeah, no. I remember having a shot at the original, but yeah, I don't remember any storyline. Certainly not Mars, but sure, why not?
Yeah, I was actually going to plug in my Doom 64 and give it a play before we sat down to record, but things got in the way. I didn't get a chance. I may do it when we're done, just to
say you did.
Yeah. No, I think it's a fun film. I like it. It's a decent action film. I think it's one of the better video game adaptations that I've seen. About, as you said, taking a video game with almost no story whatsoever, no real mythos behind it or anything, and weaving together something that is, for the most part, intelligible.
Yeah. No, like I said, this didn't break any new ground, but if you need to turn your brain off, eat some popcorn, watch some monsters get shot at, this fits. This works.
This film, I had hoped we'd get some social media comments, and for once, I am not disappointed.
Yay! What do we got?
I had to jump and stretch a little bit to get some of them, but yeah, we do have some comments here. On our Discord server, our friend Matt said that he rewatched this about 2 weeks ago, and I still think it's great. It's fun and does a good job of adapting a game that doesn't have all that much story. My only complaint is we never see the BFG used for anything other than melting walls.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember being a little disappointed in that when the first time I watched it. You got the PFT, okay, but like it just shot a wall and it just shoots another wall. That's it. You don't get to see it like.
Yeah, he missed every time. Like, you really kind of wanted that to be the thing that ends the film.
You needed it to defeat the final boss.
Right.
There's no final boss.
Well, Sarge is
Kinda.
the closest we get to our final boss, but yes, there should have been a scramble for the gun, and maybe Sarge had gone out that way. That would have been cool.
There you go. Over on Facebook, Scott asks, did you play the game? He said, I played that game a bunch, and the movie is a guilty pleasure of mine. It's so bad, it's fun. Well,
That's fair.
I think it's just fun. Yeah. Kevin on the Facebook page says that he loves this movie. And Cameron says The Rock plays a neat war criminal. Too bad about the rest of the material, as it wastes time doing a whole lot of nothing. With a better filmmaker and had Stan Winston makeup been working more overtime, it could have looked way better. So yeah, he was a dissenter. He didn't really think too highly of this one. And Nate reminded me that there is one, says it's better than the sequel. I forgot. There's a direct-to-video sequel. I think it's like Doom Annihilation. Completely forgot it existed.
Honestly, the only reason I know it exists at all is because it comes up on IMDb.
Yep. I didn't feel like that was quite enough, so I did throw the question out to a couple additional Discord servers that I belong to. And also mentioning about the Time Magazine's list here. But anyway, on the bottom of the stream Discord server, user Sutton8008 says, I really enjoyed it. I thought the twist with The Rock at the end playing against type was a smart subversion. It looked good, and it cared about the source material to at least try.
Yeah.
So. And on the greatest movie ever Discord server, the host of that podcast, Paul, says Doom is not in the top 10 of worst video game adaptations, in my opinion. If only because that first-person sequence, which is the highlight of the film. There's a user over there called Lucky Pierre, says, I wish I could remember Doom as a film. I'm not sure I saw it. It didn't leave an impression on me, sad to say, if I did. He says his best Doom memory was the game, getting attacked in a room while wandering a corridor in the dark, listening to the Rite of Sheba from the band The Machines of Loving Grace.
Had a whole vibe going there.
Yeah. And then Ollie B, the Invid Ninja, says, hard to believe that Doom is 20 years old. So I actually got it on DVD as an Easter gift, being 13 at the time. Mostly fond memories, with only a few kind of dissenters in there.
And before going into where you are going to get a lot of dissent, I am going to make a comment. They picked up on something. Dwayne Johnson as the Sarge. There is this weird thing that happens through the film, and I almost kind of wanted to explain it away in another scene, but they didn't really latch onto it. He starts off as the total noble warrior. He is the consummate leader. He cares for his team. We're here to do the right thing. That is his vibe going into it. And about halfway into the film, he already starts that shift over to, I'm just gonna kill everything and everybody's gotta go. And if you're not on my team, you're in my way.
Right, yeah. Suddenly the mission is everything.
So much so that his men are no longer... Which is not what you got from the first. So that part did kind of strike me really hard, because I'm like, all right, you did a total 180 on this before you infected him. Now,
I was just going to ask, when does he get infected? Because I was going to say, could that be something that the early stages of whatever...
And that's what I was going to discuss, is because at the end of the movie, we definitively see he's got the little tongue bite thing on his neck, and he is slowly turning in front of John Grimm during all of this. However, earlier in the film, and about the time he starts becoming a dick, he had put his hand under some of the dripping blood from one of the thing, and he rubbed it between his fingers, looking at it. And this is when we go back to Samantha Grimm analyzing the same kind of sludgy blood out of there. And you're like, oh, is this a moment? Is he like partially infected at this? But they didn't really latch on to that.
No, they didn't.
And I think that was a missed opportunity, because that might explain even in the writing, if that's how that was intended, that's when he starts making that personality shift. That would make sense, but they didn't bother to kind of build it in. So, missed opportunity.
Yeah, maybe. They could have highlighted it a little bit if that was the intention. And I think in my own head canon, that's what I'm going to go with, because there really is no other explanation.
No. But going into the professionals of the day...
Yeah, what do the critics have to say?
The critics were not pleased.
This is not a critics movie.
No, it's not. But even among critics, like starting with Roger Ebert, who can be forgiving of some real trash. I could actually see where he might have kind of been fond of this one, but I get the sense that you're going to tell me different. Yeah, this is where I'm even going to long form it a little bit, because you need kind of the nuance of his description. So, from Roger Ebert, I'm just crediting RogerEbert.com, because 2005, I'm not sure if he was still with the paper. At any rate, he writes, Doom has one great shot. It comes right at the beginning. It's the Universal logo. Instead of a spinning Earth with the letters UNIVERSAL rising in the east and centering themselves over Lebanon, Kansas, we see the red planet Mars. Then we fly closer to Mars until we see surface details. And finally, the Aldevai Research Station, I'm trying to say that correctly, helpfully described on the movie's website as the remote scientific facilities on Mars, where if you give it but a moment's thought, all of the scientific facilities are remote. Picking on their choice of language. Anyway, continuing on. Anyway, that's the last we see of the surface of Mars. A lot of readers thought I was crazy for liking Ghosts of Mars from 2001 and Red Planet from 2000 and Total Recall 1990. But blast it all, at least in those movies, you get to see Mars. I'm a science fiction fan from way back. I go to Mars, I expect to see it. Watching Doom is like visiting Vegas and never leaving your hotel room. The movie has been inspired by the famous video game. No, I haven't played it, and I never will. But I know how it feels not to play it because I've seen the movie. Doom is like some kid came over and is using your computer and won't let you play.
That is a great review.
Yeah, I know. I had to read all of that because it was making me laugh so much while I was reading it. And yeah, he gave it 1 star.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, so he was not a fan. It let him down. And I think it entirely let him down just off the fact that they said it was on Mars, and Mars had nothing to do with anything.
So if they'd given the research station some windows so he could have seen out every now and again.
Or if Reaper had ended up on the surface and his eyeballs had bugged out and he was going, he might have been okay with it. At any rate, then moving on from USA Today, Mike Clark, for big screen disposable, Doom has a few jolts, a few good laughs, and an attractive female lead to whom you want to say, "What's a nice girl like you doing on a Mars like this?"
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah. From New York Post, we have Lou Lemonick. Basically, a dreadful, dull rehash of Resident Evil, which in turn was a third-generation clone of Aliens. So, really striking on the derivative, and yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Not wrong.
you can't really argue it. No.
New York Times, Ned Martell. We expect a moral from a tale about the Grimms, but this claustrophobic mess of a movie offers only carnage. I like the that he chose to pick up on their last name. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I don't know that they were going for the Brothers Grimm. I think it was more that play on Grim Reaper, but...
Well, they even pointed out in the film, I actually like that because obviously he had not been given this nickname the last time his sister had seen him, and someone calls him Reaper, and they leave the room, and she's like, Reaper? As in Grim? Grim Reaper?
well,
And he's just like, yeah.
one of the reviews I was reading also bagged on the whole... Some of the dialogue's a little weird. She's having a conversation with John about, I don't understand, you could have been using microscopes instead of sniper scopes. And I'm like, okay, yeah. That's not Shakespeare.
No.
But at any rate, and for the last one I have, from Empire, Kim Newman. The only thing you really need, expletive omitted, to know about Doom is that it's based on the computer game. There are two reasons why this is unusually bad. Firstly, computer games are, almost by definition, mindlessly derivative of earlier films. If you had to worry about an original story, you'd never get around to the fun business of shooting things to bits. So, movies based on them tend to feel like rip-offs of rip-offs, as if the filmmakers were intent on homaging Saturn III or Leviathan rather than Alien or The Terminator. Secondly, there's nothing duller than watching somebody else play a game. So what might have been made for exciting action scenes tend to become mechanical exercises in first-person shooter monster blasting. So it's kind of funny because since that came out in 2005, I wonder how she feels today where people sit around and watch other people play video games.
Kim Newman's a he.
Kim Newman is a he. My apologies. But Kim Newman, yeah, I don't... from 2005, you must be taken rather aback by today's world.
All right, well, I think that is going to wrap it up for Doom. I think it's fun. The critics, not a critics film, and they do make some good points. You base it on a first-person shooter game, it does, if you think about it, it does kind of feel like, well, I want to play.
Kind of, but I mean, that's not the point. Not in this case. Right. But I don't think they gave it enough credit for developing a story where there was none to begin with. So, was it derivative? Yes. Did they still put together something entertaining? Yes.
Yeah, but very much so, yeah. Did not enough credit where the credit is due. All right, well, that's going to do it for that movie. Next time, we're going to look at something neither one of us have seen. It was a recommendation to Tom here. Mm-hmm. It sounds like it's going to be a Mars...
adjacent?
This film is called Aniara from 2018. I believe it is possibly, I think I said it was a film out of Sweden.
Yes, it's Swedish.
So, should be interesting. Go Aniara if you want to look it up and read up about it. If you happen to see it, please let us know. We're kind of interested. It came highly recommended to you, yes?
Yes, by a gentleman who is very fond of thinker films, horror films. When he touts something, it means a little something. So I'm very curious what this is. So we're going in blind.
Going in blind, but I did notice that on IMDb it is rated well into the 6s, which is probably higher than most of the films we've covered this year.
This is true. Yes.
That will do it for this episode. I want to thank everybody for listening to the podcast, and we would love to hear your thoughts on this episode, whether it's feedback on the film, any questions, or if you just want to if you just have something to share. You can reach out via email or drop a comment in any of our social media posts. Just follow the link in the show notes or head to timeshifterspodcast.com.
If you've got a moment, please consider leaving a rating or review. It really helps more people discover the show, and who knows, they might become listeners too.
If you're feeling generous, please toss a little monetary support our way. You can visit Ko-fi.com /TSPOE podcasts. Now, every bit of that goes towards web hosting and production costs. The show will always be free, but any help you can give us is truly appreciated.
And if you just want something cool, especially this time of year for family and friends, check out our merch at TeePublic or Dashery. Links are in the show notes and on our site. You'll be helping us out and supporting some awesome independent artists at the same time.
Do it. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
See ya.